Danny?
I have to go. You hurt me too much. You said you would stop wasting money.
But I have been! Nani? Then what's he doing here? Slap some Splatoon skin on a bad guy and you go goo-goo on it? I can explain.
What? What could you possibly say that would change my mind?
But it's G2 colors! Also, technically, I didn't buy it.
Well, this is a weird skit.
When the Siege and Earthrise figures were shown, we had a feeling a Generations 2 redeco of Megatron was in the works, not to be confused with the Combat Hero toy. We wanted to see the classic green and purple version, which despite the distaste for an Earthrise mold, this reveal did pique some interest. I didn't really care for the Earthrise version, it didn't feel like much of a change, but this, inspired by its 90s Generations 2 deco, did get my attention. I know not everyone's into it, but I dig the flashy, lively colors. Is it enough to save the mold? Special thanks to Danni Dolphin who sent this. Megatron transforms into a tank. Taken from the Earthrise mold, this has been reshaped to be closer to an Earth form. Although Megatron has kept Cybertronian forms before, even on Earth, so I don't think it was a change that was hugely demanded. I guess if they want, it does counter the Earth mode Optimus Prime. The legs forming the back of the base now connect to the front, creating a more rectangular shape. The cannon is simplified, and there's a front cover on the turret. There's other various remolding work done, including the new canopy details. There's a piece on the back that fits between the legs. Wish the tabs were smaller because it's a pain to slot in. Thank goodness! When I got Siege Megatron, I thought all this needs is a fidgety piece. I guess it finishes the shape, but hopefully there's a bigger purpose in robot mode. Maybe? Please? I mean, the feet are here regardless, so it's not going to look perfect. Now the paint. You may have noticed one glaring thing regarding the toy. It's supremely obvious, so let's dive in. Yes, it's true. There's painted wheels on the treads. Very subtle touches, but oh, yeah right. How can I miss the art project that looks like the 90s sneezed on it? Megatron is a military leader, dark, cunning, and pure evil, so let's dress it up like the messy house in Cat in the Hat. Bright green and purple might feel obnoxious, but that's why I love it. I mean, at what point should a toy stop being fun? I even dig the orange touches and G2 Decepticon symbol. Turret only rotates, can't go up and down because of the cover, but I love how the cannon in the middle refers to the original toy. Is that a happy accident or on purpose? Realistically speaking, what kind of camo is that? Sure, no one will see him in an oil spill and Mountain Dew, mostly because who's seen an oil spill in Mountain Dew? I think people are generally alright with the two Optimus Primes, given one's truck form has Cybertronian alterations and the other is just the pure classic Earth form. For Megatron, both tanks aren't the classic form, so one of the only ways for me to jump on it is this deco. Obviously we can't expect a gun form nowadays, and the tank design has really overtaken Megatron. I mean, shrinking down as a handheld weapon is probably too hard to believe. Plus, the tank form opens the opportunity for this deco, and I love this. It's a different form of ridiculousness that I enjoy. Robot mode. Like I said, this is probably the only way I get this mold. Some of the texturing seems more flat, and you're basically getting the same result as the Siege. But I'm glad it's in the G2 deco so I can experience the sculpt and really see a difference. There are new tabs which seem pretty solid, but maybe a little too solid. They really click into place, and I'm surprised with the lack of stress marks. But they did seem to fix the foot tilt, and I still love how boxy and huge he feels. It's like a building dressed like a goon from Batman and Robin. Still, I do see decent sculpt work, some painted in, especially in the abdomen section, and chest paint looking like a tentacle. I don't think it's bad, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, well, not like he does, I'm certain he's a psychopath. It doesn't exceed the Siege mold, but I still wanted it for the deco. It's like soda. It's technically not good, but I want it. There was a charm to the 90s and I see it here. I'm just picturing the weird CGI commercials. The head is weird though, the face looks tall and the eyes are both dead and angry. It's like his son disappointed him, but he didn't expect otherwise. I like the silver paint on the helmet, but I wish that color was more spread out. At least he has a purple unibrow, and the gray sometimes feels like it's got a slight purple hue. If only he had the big chin. Did someone say articulation? Ball jointed head, shoulders out and in, forward and back rotation below, elbow bend, waist rotation, hips out and in, forward and back rotation below, knees bend, foot forward, and tilt. Posability is pretty good. His strong form is impressive as is, so you can certainly get him to attack or command his army. They did build a system so the neck panel doesn't loosely move around, so that's a good fix, but it does get stuck in alt mode. The panel is somewhat exposed on the back, so if you have something small enough, you can push it out. Let's take a look at the accessories. Despite the fusion cannon basically doing the same thing as before, it is a completely new mold that you don't need to remove for the transformation. The peg on mine is loose, but that's not hard to fix. And now for the best part. Remember that cool trick with the sword on the Siege figure flipping around, creating this hardcore, amazing, intimidating piece? Well, now the sword is a weak-ass thing molded to the turret. Wow, what an upgrade. Don't stress yourself, Hasbro, this is some witchcraft. Wait a minute, this piece can connect. Maybe this will fix it. How does this piece help anything? It's like a Shapeways add-on nobody asked for. At least Cliffjumper's part had use. I guess you can use the peg and plug it to the hand, but that's awkward. Nope, instead it just goes onto the side. Am I supposed to be impressed? The peg is on the hinge, which according to the stock images, you could try and do a shoulder cannon, but it doesn't really work. There's blast ports in certain areas, and portholes on the feet, side of the legs, hands, 2 on each arm, and 2 on the back. Nothing on the top, so the Siege figure can do the G2 shoulder cannon, but not the G2 figure. I'm gonna plug it on the shoulder so I don't have to cry. And yes, I'm aware of the upgrade piece. Imagine this deco on the Netflix show. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Angst and puberty! I'm so glad Generations would dive more into G2. Look at it with Laser Prime. You can't tell me you don't have any interest in this. I'm sure an eyebrow was raised. Anyone want an Archforce or a bludgeon from this? So, how do I feel about the figure? Well, I don't feel any reason to get the Earthrise figure except to match the Optimus Prime, but the Siege figure already feels suited. I think we can all agree the Grey Siege Megatron is a mixed bag with everyone. You either like him, hate him, or somewhere in the middle. Here's the thing, I'm not forgetting the mold issues, but as soon as Barbie dresses him up, we're on board. The deco is so bright that I really like it. It may not be the favorite for everyone, it's not realistic, but I've gotta say this is exciting to look at, and I think that's a good enough reason to get it. Maybe to try the mold for yourself. Special thanks to Danni Dolphin for sending this. He looks like he didn't ask for onions, got it anyways, and didn't want to bother the waiter to fix it.